Happy Sunday, St. Paul's, and welcome to week 3 of our virtual Sunday school. I am so excited to have you here today. So to start off, I want us to think about where we are in our season. So right now, we are in the season after Pentecost. So this is a time when the church is focusing on living in a community, growing in faith and discipleship. So our parable today, so our story today, this reminds us that the Church of Christ is the generosity there. It encourages the whole community to extend generosity even when we think others don't deserve it. And so this story reveals that the kingdom of God operates according to God's notions of fairness and grace and generosity, and not our notions of those things. So I want you to settle in, find a comfy spot, and I'll meet you there for our story. So I hope you found a comfy spot in your home. So we are going to read our story. So our story today is called The First and Last in the Vineyard. So it's called All in a Day's Work. And it's from Matthew chapter 20, verses 1 through 16. The early morning sun was shining on a vineyard full of plump, juicy grapes. The vineyard owner saw that the grapes were ripe and ready to be picked. At 9 o'clock, he hired hard-working men to pick the grapes. The workers picked and picked, but still there were more grapes. At 12 o'clock, the vineyard owner hired more workers. They picked and picked, but still there were more grapes. At 3 o'clock and at 5 o'clock, the vineyard owner hired even more workers. They picked and they picked and they picked. And finally, there were no more grapes. The sun set, and it was time to pay all of the workers. The vineyard owner paid the workers who started at 5 o'clock first, and he paid the workers who started at 9 o'clock last. He even paid all of the workers the same amount. The early morning workers grumbled, "What? We aren't worked all day long. We picked the most grapes. No fair. Why are the afternoon workers paid the same?" The vineyard owner replied, "I paid you what I promised you. Can't I give away what is mine any way I want?" Jesus wanted to teach people about God's kingdom. Like the vineyard owner who surprised everyone by giving the last the same as the first, Jesus said, God is more generous than anyone can imagine. So I want you guys to think on that story while you're doing your craft, and I will see you soon for our questions. Bye. Hi, 3rd and 4th grade. I hope you enjoyed your craft today, and I can't wait to see all of them next week. So when you're thinking about our story today, our story was about being first and last in the vineyard. And there were a lot of workers who came throughout that day. So which group worked the longest? And which was the group that worked the shortest? And why do you think Jesus said that everyone got paid the same? So the landowner, he said that he was being generous. What does that mean? How is God's love generous? And when has someone been generous to you? I wonder. Hi, 3rd and 4th grade. We are back for our Bible bit. And this week in our story, this was a time back in Jesus' time where laborers, they kind of lived at the whim of the landowner. So they didn't have a lot of power. They didn't have a lot of money. And since there were so many workers, and there were more workers than jobs, a job that paid a fair wage was an incredible gift to these people. Well, St. Paul's, I hope you had a wonderful virtual Sunday school. Mr. Leo and I are so grateful that we're still able to meet with you all, even though we're not in person. So I hope you have a great week. And next week we will be meeting virtually to show your crafts and all of the fun different things that you may have and questions. So I will see you there. Bye.